Here's Neil Eisenhut. Now we're recording.
Yep.
And the interesting thing, Neil, you can hang on to that. There's a sign up there that says Osoyoos Bantams, 1981 and 1982 provincial chaps, just over fields. Can you see that?
The 78-79 one as well.
Yeah.
And the 83-84 one.
Now, it was the 1981 and 82 one, I think, that I broadcast. You were about, what, 14?
Yeah, about 14, yeah.
And you were playing Bantam hockey.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think in those days, I actually refereed some of your games. And
yeah, you did. And you know what? We argue with a lot of referees, but you weren't bad, Tom.
No,
You're okay.
Feel bad. I did the thing, eh? Now listen, you really came along. You played a little bit in the BC Hockey this league, but then you went into the BC Hockey League, and you ended up being drafted by the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, so I actually played in the KI. I left home at 16 with a couple of guys from here. We had a really strong team, hence the BC championships that we won. And Ricky Holtz and I went and lived together in Beaver Valley and played there. We were 16-year-olds getting away from home, and we actually were impact players. We ended up 3rd and 5th on the team in scoring, and we're impact players, and that kind of started off my career. And then from there, I played in Langley in the BCJHL, and then in Penticton, and back in Langley, and I got my scholarship to University of North Dakota. And North Dakota's known for I was very fortunate to get picked up there. Got drafted that year by the Vancouver Canucks. As I say, first overall in the 12th round. I always hesitate on that, and most people look at me and go, you weren't a first overall.
But you got up there. You were. Now, the interesting
we were a
thing,
crossbar away from having my name on the Stanley Cup.
Now, the interesting thing, before you got there, you were the captain for a couple of years of the Hamilton Canucks.
The Hamilton Canucks, yeah.
St. John's Canucks.
St. John's Flames. After I was with the Canucks in '94. I was with the Canucks organization from '91 to '94, and then I moved over to the Flames, and I was the captain of the minor league team there, and that was '95, the lockout year. And so as soon as the lockout was over, I went up to the Flames in Calgary, and then you know what? And then kind of I was at the age of 27 and haven't been a regular player in the NHL, and moving around, single at the time and stuff like that, and trying to figure out where I'm going in this game, and so I actually ended up going down to Orlando for a year, and then from there went over to Europe and played 6 years in Germany. And met my wife over there and brought her back, and we had a son, which happens to be the reason I'm here today.
And he's all right. The first period, he whipped himself up a couple of assists.
Yeah, you know what? We're
talking about Noah Eisenhut here, folks.
Yeah, so he was playing in Summerland at the beginning of the year, and things didn't go well. He wasn't getting a lot of ice time, and he's been always kind of a natural scorer, and not the greatest skater, but has a knack for the net, and you know, obviously he came down here one time, one of the first games he played down here, and he got 12 shifts in the game and had two goals and hit a post.
And scored.
Scored two and hit a post. And then Jim Harrington, who ran the rink forever, and one of the main reasons why I got to the NHL, goes, why isn't he playing here? I go, well, they never asked him. And then he got released from Summerland, and then Carter Rigby I've known for a bunch of years, and he knows Noah real well, and he says, hey, bring him down, and so we come down. We're just playing some games here, and we'll see what happens next year.
Yeah, so we won't get into that, but let's go back to Germany for a bit.
Yeah.
How did you like the life in Germany?
You know what, a lot of people ask me that question, and I was there for 6 years. Germany is, it's not better, it's not worse, it's just different. There's a lot of things over in Germany that I would love to bring to North America. They have coffee and cake at 3 o'clock every day, and now I've got maybe too much cake in me. I'd love to bring that over here.
Now, how about the language? Did most people speak English?
Yeah, they did. In 1 year, we had 14 different nationalities on our team, and so I picked up German. I sound like a 3-year-old when I speak, but...
So you sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Yeah, klein bisschen. My mother-in-law doesn't speak English, so we get along real well because there's a language barrier, and I guess I can't be the donkey that's married her daughter, so...
You and I got the same thing. I married a German lady too, and her mother spoke mostly German.
Yeah.
I was kind of lost when we first met.
So they're over, but we communicate real well with with hands and feet. And when I was playing over there, she always thought I was too skinny. So she'd always sneak chocolates in my pocket. And then, you know, we go over there kind of every second year to take Noah and Constance to go back and see her family. And I said to my mother-in-law, I said, hey, Moochie, you don't put chocolates in my pocket anymore. She goes, you're too thick. She gives them to Noah now.
Now listen, you played in the NHL. That was back in the night. In fact, I was one of the games. I was at one of your games. I was up in the stands, and one of the guys sitting beside me, I mentioned that's Noah Eisenhut. He's Neil Eisenhut. I've got your son on my mind now. I said that's Neil Eisenhut and I was the mayor at the time, and I watched the game, and I was quite proud of you playing. And the guy said, "Oh, I like that Eisenhut. He's all right out on the ice."
You know what? Being a drafted guy from BC, a hometown kid, I got a lot of press on that, and it was really kind of cool. It was funny. I got a funny story about that, talking about Jim Harrington. Jim Harrington went down to see me play against LA, where Gretzky was in LA, and so anyway, he pretended that I think he was trying to get a free lunch, but they were at a restaurant, and he tried to talk to the waitress and said, "Oh yeah, you know that Eisenhut guy that's come up, yeah." And Walt Davidson was with him. He says, "Oh yeah, this is his dad right here." Tried to get a free lunch, I think. Anyway, but Jim is like one of my dads because of all the work he did here with the rink and giving us, when the ice was open back in those days, he'd let us out there, and I spent hours and hours and hours shooting pucks here, and Jim was such a great ambassador for Osoyoos and the rink. And Chuck Kobasu would say the same thing, another guy from Osoyoos, and so would Mitch Fritz. All three of us have played in the NHL, so it's pretty cool for a little town like this to have three guys that played. So I'm very proud of that, and even though I live in West Kelowna now, Osoyoos is always home.
Well, it is, and I'm glad to see Noah is back in here. For me, it's a real treat to be able to talk to you because I remember refereeing you. You were 14 years old.
Did I yell at you, Tom?
No, you were good. You were good.
I always say, you guys are slashing me. Tom, give me a little space here, call a penalty or two.
Well, at the time I used to go out and umpire the fastball games. You were just a little too young.
We played a lot of fastball here. Dad sponsored a team, and we had the likes of John Slater, the late John Slater, and Randy Mitchell, my brother Doug, and we had a really good fastball team.
Cops played too.
A lot of police officers came and joined us, and it was kind of good because it brought the community together, and so we don't have all this fight of between police and the citizens, and they were one of the guys, and it was always awesome, and we always respected them, and they had to do their job, and they came out and played with us too. It was fun.
Now this is really unique because the first time I've got to talk history with someone from Osoyoos, a guy who's come through it and been part of it, and it's fantastic.
Really enjoyed it, Tom. Thank you.
And I hope Noah's gonna pan out well and everything works well.
He's allowed to play 10 games this year. This is games as an AP. This is game 6. Carter offered him a card, but because the team was having some trouble and wasn't going to go into playoffs, we chose not to, so that we could go into playoffs with our other team, with a Johnny DePork, which you probably remember.
I remember very well.
And I played junior with Johnny, so and it was just it was a great opportunity for Noah to play some more junior. He's going to probably end up playing this year 25, 28 games or something like that, and getting a good taste for it. And we'll see what happens next year. But this has been a good fit for Noah, and he's really liking the guys in there, and they've been really welcoming to him. So
and if he's here next year, maybe Dad will be down here, and
Dad'll be down here a lot more. Yeah, Dad'll be down here a lot more, and we'll see if I don't know if Carter wants an old fat ex-NHL guy helping him out a little bit, and maybe an eye in the sky or something like that. But I'm more than willing to help out wherever I can, and it's kind of nice to see full circle Noah playing in Osoyoos, because this is where it all started for me.
And I remember because I was here watching you when it all started.
I guess we're getting old, Tom.
I'm just a delight. It's a delight to talk to you because the name Eisenhut and sports has just been hand in hand since the Osoyoos was growing up.
It's a lot to do with my dad. My dad was a big ambassador to. He's gone now. He's been gone for about 7 years. But he's been a big ambassador. He started the Puck Fiesta here, and the golf course. He did a lot there, and just supporting all youth baseball and fastball and soccer. We always had a Eisenhut insurance on the name of of the uniforms. So you know what? I just try and follow in my father's footsteps a little bit and help out.
Well, you're doing fine.
Awesome.
No, thanks for coming over. Neil, thanks for coming over and talking to us. And
awesome.
I got no on my mind now, but hey.
Good. I hope you call him a few more times, but not for penalties.
Do you know what I liked about it? I watched him take a shot from center. The wrist shot was still rising when it was going the goaltender cut. He's got a good shot.
He's bigger than me, but I'm not telling him that, so we can't air this anywhere.
Neil Eisenhut, folks, thanks for stopping by, Neil.
Thank you very much.